And we are live. How's it going, guys? Let me see. What's the story? Yeah, yeah, I'm quarantined for 2 weeks. Just got back from Ireland. Was in. Take these off for a minute. Yeah, so I was in Ireland and I just got back there. And I'm in mandatory quarantine for the next 2 weeks. In Malta, every single person who comes in on an incoming flight is required by law to be indoors for 2 weeks, not go outside. So I was transferred from the airport and I'm stuck inside for 14 days. Stocked up on food. I brought over my piano here from you can see it there from Ireland. So I'm stuck indoors the next 2 weeks. And any American watchers, this is all ahead of you guys. Europe is on complete lockdown. When I was coming from Ireland, it was pretty crazy. The airport, a lot of people were getting refused boarding. Even friends of mine refused on the plane because they didn't have residency over here. Malta shut down all tourists. What else? There was people screaming at the airport. One woman told me to F off because I was too close to her. I saw a guy. Oh, God! 1 second, guys. I have to plug in my laptop here. There was a guy who got arrested at the airport for screaming at the staff. Everyone was very tense. Just let me plug in my laptop here. It says it's low battery. Give me a second here. Okay. Yeah. So it was all very, very tense. I was talking to the airport staff in Dublin Airport. And they said the last week was just insane. Everyone was leaving, packing up their lives, and going home. It's a very strange time. Things were very tense. And when I got back here, they were screening everybody. And now they're doing inspections on apartments to see if everyone's in quarantine. Let me know if you're in the chat there. If you feel to see there's 4 people watching. If you feel to give a comment, I can see it here. So or ask questions. Well, yeah, so 14 days, I stocked up on plenty of tin fish, doing some workouts, convict conditioning, if anyone has ever heard of that ebook. If you guys are stuck at home right now, that's a good book to check out for bodyweight exercises. And I'm stuck indoors for 2 weeks. You know what? I'm kind of looking forward to it. Both my businesses closed down, which effectively shut my third business, which is the beer import stuff. I had to let go of tons of staff. A lot of people I know have lost their jobs, their livelihoods. A lot of family have lost their livelihoods. I'm sure even those watching, it's Saturday night, guys. What are you doing here? It's 8 o'clock on a Saturday night here. You're doing it because, yeah, I do live in Malta. Andre, I do live in Malta. He's asking me there. Yes. I have 2 bars here and an import and export company here, and I have an apartment here as well. Yeah, and I'm stuck here for 14 days inside. Where was it? What was I saying? Yeah, so a lot of friends and family have lost their jobs, their livelihoods. It's a crazy time, and the only thing good I can see in it, I'm lucky. I think I tweeted about this. I'm lucky to have enough to afford my mortgage, food, and to take care of those around me. So I consider myself actually quite lucky, even though I've lost my businesses and even my rental income has dried up because the tenants have lost their jobs. I consider myself quite lucky. How are you guys doing out there? Who's watching this? Has quarantine or the craziness that the world is facing now affected yourselves? I say enjoy the decline. This presents a unique opportunity. I'm actually getting to play. I'm taking life so seriously the last few years. Yesterday, I bought home my piano and just getting to play piano or video games or watch a couple of movies and not have to stress out of businesses or work. Secret blessing in disguise. That's the way I see it. I'm taking this quarantine thing positively. When else are you going to get a chance to have nothing going on? The world has stopped, guys. The world has stopped. The way I see it is this could be a time to level up. learn a language, learn instruments, build up skills. I mean, we have the internet. You can teach yourself anything. Also, it's a time we can use to, get to know our family better. I think people are going to get closer in this period. And I think also it's time to have fun. There's something else going on. Play a couple of video games. Play. I stocked up on board games because what else are you going to be doing in the evenings? I imagine I'll be getting antsy after 2 weeks. It's only day 2. I'm pretty optimistic, but talk to me now when I can't go outdoors for 2 weeks. I think I'm going to be going crazy. I'll go in Switzerland. The government is doing a decent job. Yes, I have a friend living in Switzerland. They said they're actually doing something quite different than other European countries, right? I think they're doing some sort of slow herd immunization, right? They're not approaching it with quarantine or lockdown like many other European countries. Listen, Switzerland is a model country. I think everybody could learn something from Switzerland. I think you guys really get the balance right between liberalism and conservatism. You have people serving the army, but then you have hookers on the street. You guys are quite a dichotomy. But yeah, I'm sure Switzerland is doing a good job. You guys always do a good job. Sorry if I slur my words, guys, a bit. I have an empty stomach and I'm drinking IPAs here. I said I had to close my 2 bars, so I raided the fridges for stuff that is close to going out of date. So I got like plenty of IPAs and stuff. So I'm enjoying this. Yes, bro, it's Monopoly time. Risk as well. I always loved Risk as a kid. Risk, Monopoly, chess. Yeah, they're my go-tos. And plenty of video games as well. But I said I'm in quarantine now, so I don't get a lot of people. I have 2 other people to play with. So I mean, it's not the options are kind of limited. I had my brother. My brother lives actually. I'm in my brother's room right now. He rents this room for me, but he had to move out because if he was here when I came back, he would also face 14 days mandatory quarantine. So he had to move out to another apartment. And if you're in breach of the quarantine rules here in Malta, it's a €3,000 fine. And they have inspectors going door to door, knocking. And if you're not present, they slip the fine in your mailbox and you owe the government €3,000. There's one French guy here. He got caught 5 times. The same guy. It was €1,000 initially. And he got caught a couple of times when it was that, and then he got caught twice when it was 3,000. So he got caught. He owes the government a lot of money. I'd say he regrets going out now. But all the bars are closed here. All the restaurants are closed here. Everything is closed. So what I've done now is I have used third-party software that integrates with Facebook for ordering for craft beers and stuff. I'm trying to be innovative. That's all you can do in these moments. You got to get some sort of income going. So luckily I have my finger in other pots and I can survive. But yeah, €3,000. Pretty crazy, huh? Yeah, I don't know what's the penalty in other countries. At least in China, I don't think they give you €3,000. They put you in a hole somewhere. Hey, did you manage to do business in Colombia? Is the local government really trustworthy for doing business? I think so, actually. I think Colombia got their shit together. I would easily and happily do business in Colombia. I know other people who've done businesses there and been very successful. I would wager that the Colombians are more honest in terms of the bureaucratic machine than they are in Malta. Malta's a lot more corrupt. Colombians have really got their stuff together. I'm very impressed with how they do things over there. Obviously, you gotta make sure you trust who you're dealing with. Well, that's like anywhere else. And what's the next question? We have no such quarantine here in Minsk, Belarus. I just came from Minsk, man. I was there 2 weeks ago. You guys don't need quarantine because you probably have very little cases. I mean, there's not a lot of travel. But when I was there, I mean, it's pretty quiet there in general. It's so sparse. You walk around Minsk in wintertime, and there's pictures I think I have up on Instagram where I'm in the main plaza in the tourist area, and there's nobody there. It's just there's nobody about. Everything is open as normal, bars and restaurants. So guys, that's where you need to go. Minsk, Belarus. Not a lot of mixing there. Beautiful gals, and the nightlife's not bad there too. And during the week is terrible. I'm sure you can. Irish artist Partisan will know all about it. But during the weekend, it's fun, and they're friendly people. I really like the Belarusians. Shockingly friendly. They're very curious about outsiders. If you want to go get a wife, guys, Belarus is not a bad spot to go. I'll tell you that. Right, we got James. James asks, how do you game when a girl doesn't speak your language? Well, I am a very big advocate of learning languages. If you're going to go travel somewhere, use Pimsleur, Pimsleur, 30 days. Even if it's 2 weeks worth of lessons, you'd be surprised how much you can pick up. Enough to go on a date. After 30 days, certainly. We used to travel as Mexican pirates. We would often encounter women who wouldn't speak the same language as us, or we wouldn't be able to communicate. And a lot of it was kind of very piratey. It was like, rawr, rawr, you'd poke them with a sword, you'd pull their hair. You got to run caveman game in that case, and that's only going to work in clubs and bars, not out in the street. Alternatively, I picked up girls without speaking the local languages by drawings. I remember when I was in Thailand, my first trip to Thailand, I drew out like a stick man kind of scenario with a Thai girl. She didn't speak any English, and we were able to draw a hotel and communicate by stick men. But nowadays it's so easy with Google Translate and stuff. I mean, there's no excuse for making an effort. There's so many different ways of doing things now. But obviously you're going to be at a disadvantage if you guys cannot communicate clearly. But get yourself a local SIM card, use Google Translate. That's what I'd recommend. James also asked, have I ever been to Moscow? Yes, I've been to Moscow. I would say, to be honest, that Moscow was probably the most unfriendliest city I've been to in the world. And I've been to hundreds of cities. Nightlife was fun. Girls are gorgeous. Expensive. But I was there like 10 years ago, so I'd love to go back and see if my opinions changed. But I remember the nightlife being fun. But huge city, a bit too big, a bit too expensive, and the people weren't so friendly. That was my first impression, but I'm always willing to give a place a second chance. I had a really bad impression of Egypt when I went there first as well, because I got scammed a lot. But I'd honestly go back to give it a second chance, because sometimes you just have a bad experience and you can't let it color your objectivity. But yeah, I'm not in a rush to go back to Moscow. I really like Siberia and St. Petersburg. I preferred the people in Siberia. I thought they were a lot friendlier. Next question. What's the story with Hanoi, please? Encore. So, Simon, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. There's a weird little squiggle above your S. So he's referring to a story in my new book, My Life as a Mexican Pirate. You guys can pick it up here at mexicanpirates.com. For those of you who don't know about it, I've been advertising the hell out of it. I released it only last week. The reviews have been awesome. Check it out. But he's referring to a story in there which happened in Sierra Leone. And unfortunately, I cannot publicly talk about this. If you want to know the answer, you read my first book, Naughty Nomad, and you'll know exactly what the answer was. But I will not publicly state what happened there. But if you read my first book, you'll get the reference. Yeah, that's all I'll say on that. I wish I could tell you more, man. But so where's everyone from here? I'm seeing we got a good few people on here, but I don't know where everyone is from. I know we got Minsk, Belarus, which is cool. It's really cool to see I have such an international crowd on. Always do. Morphe, sorry, I cannot pronounce that username, man. Sorry, Morphe, whatever. What are your 3 top locations for retirement? Good question. If I was, let's say, if I saw myself like a divorced 60-year-old and completely free and single and wasn't tied down to anywhere in particular, my number one choice would be Philippines. I think Philippines has got the beaches, everyone speaks English, people are friendly. I mean, and even when you're 60 or 70, you can have fun. Let's just say there, you can have a lot of fun. Next up would probably be somewhere, I imagine if it were me now, I'd probably go somewhere in Africa actually. Somewhere mad like Congo or Ethiopia, Uganda, just because you could have a lot of fun there if you're, retirement age. Where would Thailand be up there too? Where else? Sierra Leone? No, Sierra Leone. It's too small. I don't know. Maybe somewhere in Africa. Philippines though is the first place that comes to mind. If it was a place in Europe, good question. Here's not so bad. Malta. I mean, I'd go for the sun. Somewhere sunny, somewhere cheap. Yeah, I mean that's all I'll say for now. I haven't thought. Good question though. I'll have to think about that more. Indonesia would be another one up there. So basically Southeast Asia. People speak English there. It's cheap and it's fun. Girls are nice, and same with Africa. Because let's be honest, if you're retirement age and if you were single, that's where you're going to have the most fun. Maybe Latin America as well, but you want to have good Spanish. Somebody answered France, Edmaster 101. France for retirement? I don't know why. Oh no, this is where you're from. Sorry, I asked where people were from, and that's the answer. He's definitely not recommending France for retirement. Why would you go there? It's Europe. It's boring. Europe is boring, lads. We got someone from France. We got someone from Minsk. So I suppose it's 8 o'clock at night. So I presume most of you guys are European. Sorry if you're hearing all my computer making lots of noise. It's struggling. I got a few applications open here. But guys, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. I always appreciate you guys ask me questions. I'm more than happy to do so. Have you decided to have a family now? I remember in an older article you said that you will have a naughty nomad lifestyle till you die. I'm always going to be adventurous. I'm always going to travel. I'm always going to have adventures. But that doesn't mean that you can't have a family. I don't think the two are mutually exclusive. What does it mean to be a nomad? I thought about this. I'm definitely not the same guy I was in my 20s. But to be a nomad, for me, is you go to where the pastures are greenest, where you can exploit the resources. I'm from Ireland originally. I moved to the States and New York for a while. Now I'm in Malta because economic opportunities here. I'm not living at home. If the opportunities right up here, I'd move somewhere else. And I do plenty of traveling, but I'm not the same guy I was in my 20s. That's being honest with you. The naughty nomad lifestyle, I'm not sure how naughty or nomadic is going to be. I think I'm changing my website to settledniceguy.com. But life's about balance. Life's about balance. I do want to start a family, maybe in the next 2 to 3 years. I'm not dead fast on that, but I do want to do it. I've always wanted to have children. I'm lucky because I come from a very close-knit clan structure. On my father's side, there's like 11 brothers and sisters. We have 27, 28 cousins on that side. And every year for a week, we go to a town in Ireland. We all hang out together. We play music together. We drink, we sing, play sports together. And every year also, all the men over 18, the uncles and the cousins over 18, we pick a city in Eastern Europe and we go on the piss for a weekend. And that's an amazing bonding experience. And the women do it too. All the aunties and female cousins, they pick another city and they go on the piss for the weekend. We just got back from Salzburg, in fact, 2 weeks ago, where one of my uncles owns 2 bars, and it was just absolute blast. And then Christmas is, again, we all meet in Ireland, and we do pub crawls in Dublin. We've loads of family events, and I'm very, very lucky to have that clan family structure, very close-knit family structure, and I want that for my children, and I'd like to continue that. It makes, I have a great relationship with my parents, my brothers and sisters. It's very special. So you know, and the more I've traveled, the more hedonism I've had, especially in New York, where I basically went down the rabbit hole with debauchery and hedonism. I found that wasn't very fulfilling in the end. You know, it's just a black hole you can never fill. Whereas, and especially living in New York, it really made me appreciate the whole family thing and where I'm from, community. And I think that I could say all this, and guys in their 20s will still want to do what I did. And I think everyone needs to walk that road to realize what's important. I walked that road already. I'm still going to do plenty of adventuring. I want to hit some dangerous places and do some crazy trips. Well, you know, maybe in 10 years' time, I'll have my kids with me. You know, that'd be, you know, I'd bring them across Africa, or I don't know. Listen, man, what's the phrase? Man plans, God laughs. You know, everything I think, the way my life has panned out, the way I thought my life would have panned out, it hasn't worked out that way. It's worked out completely different. I'm sure that can be said for most of you. You have you make guidelines, not goals. Guidelines. You aim roughly in a direction, then life takes you for six, and other stuff happens. Anyone else got any questions? Shoot them all over. We got, for people just joining, how you doing? I'm in quarantine for 14 days. So I'm here in my brother's room in my apartment. He had to leave because I had to kick him out because he'd be quarantined for 14 days as well if he had stayed. So I thought I'd entertain myself and you guys by doing a random stream. I know I'm really bad at announcing these guys. I kind of do when I feel like it. Hopefully we'll get some more structure going on. Right now, this is sort of an impromptu office. I just bought this office chair, and I'm trying to figure out something more sustainable so I can do this long term, and also to do something where it's more structured, where we have something set every week. Let's say we're talking about a different region, and I share what knowledge I have and do some research and stuff for you guys, rather than me waffling on for 30 minutes or 40 minutes like I have done the last few live streams. If you guys haven't seen, check out the interview I did with Troy Francis. It was really good. We both dressed as pirates for my Mexican pirate book launch there. And also, guys, if you're looking for someone to read, if you guys haven't checked out the book yet, I want to show you this. Check out this article by this article. Well, that's not the article. This is masculinebooks.com. This guy interviews, I don't know what his first name is, I should ask, but this guy interviews like all kind of books for dudes. Really great resource if you're looking for something to read. This guy just, you know, that's his gig. He just reads and reviews books for he think would be interest to men, and he gave the book a glowing review. Honestly, it's just a brilliant. I was really taken aback by this review. It was just just read it yourself. It's Mexican. My Life as a Mexican Pirate by Mark Zola, Masculine Books. Honestly, it's the best review I've seen so far, and you know, thanks, man, if you're watching this. I really appreciate those comments. You know, I'm chuffed for that. Anyway, let's go back to the screen here. How do you usually organize your time? Poorly. No, I don't think I'm not. I don't know. Like this is why I'm like in this quarantine, because you know, my day is so bombarded with stuff to do. I just have giant to-do lists. You know, I said I have 3 businesses, another one on the way. My life is just one big constant to-do list. What I make sure I do is I do intermittent fasting. You know, I don't usually eat till 3-4 in the day. Get some work done on the laptop in the first thing in the morning. Then I go to the gym every set, you know, like 3 times a week. Do some strength training, you know, squats and stuff like that, and deadlifts, just to keep me relatively fit. You know, try to eat all right, plenty of fish. I just work, and then I try to turn off. I try to turn off at 10 o'clock. Watch a movie or something. Right now, I'm working on an audiobook. I don't know if you can see there. I got the most ghetto ass. See in the corner there? See that black thing in the corner there? That is, believe it or not, a makeshift sound booth. So if you go in there, it's all rugs and stuff, and I got acoustic foam along the walls. I set up my microphone in there, that's where I'm currently doing the audiobook, about a couple of chapters in anyway. So I'm doing that any chance I get, which is rarely. I don't get a lot of free time. I'm starting playing a bit of jiu-jitsu. I haven't done jiu-jitsu, mind you, in the last 3-4 months because of the new bar we're setting up. But I love it. And I also got a hair transplant, so I'm not allowed to do jiu-jitsu for 3 months. And I also play a bit of soccer as well. So keep myself physically active, try to eat right, work hard, and weekends I'm in my bars having a few drinks, trying out different craft beers and stuff. It's really hard to own a load of craft beer bars and be healthy at the same time, I'll tell you that. What crypto do you own? Okay, I'm into crypto. I own Bitcoin, Ethereum, Neo, what else? ADA. I used to own Ripple, don't anymore. What else do I own? I have a load of shit coins, man. They're 99% dead at this stage. I had to check my portfolio. I know BNB, that was a big one for me. I was also really interested in, I lost a fortune in it, but I was really interested in, what's the name of it? God, they're so irrelevant right now. The name escapes. I was a big fan. Oh God, it's gone. They were doing a decentralized web browser, but they got done because I think they used some of their extra funds to invest in hedge funds and stuff. But so Stratum, that's what it is. Lost a fucking fortune. And I think I lost like 10 grand in the crash. And that crashed in 2017. But I'm still in crypto. I'm still in crypto. I got Ether as well, Ethereum, obviously. No, I'm a big advocate. It's nice to see crypto doing well. Actually, let's actually just bring it up here. 1 second. How are we doing on crypto? I like this could land fat in my face because things are going well, relatively crap. But it's nice to see there was an upswing the last 7 days, as you see here. It didn't totally crash, which a lot of people thought it would. But I'm long. I'm a hodler. I'm long on crypto. What travel hacks can you recommend? What do you use for booking flights? If you want to get cheap flights, guys, if you've never heard of it, look at secretflying.com. This site is absolutely incredible for getting deals. If you're completely open-minded about where to go and when to go, check out this site here, secretflying.com. Like, you see trips like, this is from Europe. Now you can do it from America or wherever. But, to give you some examples, Netherlands to New York, 280 euros. Belgrade, Serbia to Sri Lanka, 338 euros return. All these kind of really, really like random trip, and they do it to some mad spots in Africa and Central Asia. You can find all sorts of great deals, and I've used this a couple of times. I also use Skyscanner. You got me distracted now. I'm looking at I'm chasing cheap flights, but anyway, check it out, guys. Oslo to India, 300 quid return. Look at this. Oslo to Switzerland, to Oslo to Australia, and then returning to Switzerland for 466 euro. That is nothing. So check out secretflying.com. Highly recommend it. Also Skyscanner. Other travel hacks I recommend is, my book. I have a book called, I think if you subscribe to the newsletter, you get a free book, Swagabond. Yeah, I think you can buy it for $3. I should give it away for free actually, but it's on my website. I have a load of travel hacks in that. But basically, that's the biggest one. Secretflying.com. Seems like Superman cubicle change room. Oh god. Yeah, well, it's not the most glamorous studio in the world, but apples, or when you get lemons, make lemonade. Right? How do you manage travel, doing business, writing, and doing so many things, whereas most people can't handle just one or two main activity? I think the trick is to do what you like. I love travel. I love doing business. The thing about businesses, you got to get people to manage them. If you can't walk away from your business for 2 weeks, a month, or whatever, and it can't keep taking over, you're not in a business. You're self-employed. I learned that the hard way. I used to have a video production company in Ireland, And when I'm not there, it's not doing business because we can't make videos for events and corporate clients. It's not a business if you can't leave and you can't get it automated and have some people run it. So that's what I would say. Get your business automated and be in a business that you can scale and automate. And then you can travel, have the freedom to travel. And once you get that set up, if you can automate it, then things like writing become an option too. Because, and I don't write that much. I don't write that much and do other, I try to do creative projects in the evenings and stuff. But the biggest secret is to automate what you can in business. You delegate, Yeah, and I travel, a ton. I think I don't know how many countries I went to last year, but every country for the last 10 years, I've been to at least 10 countries a year, at least. I don't know, because it's priorities, man. I'm going to travel, and business is a thing on the side. It's all about getting, work-life balance right. I know it's tougher in the States because they don't give you as much time off. But actually, to be honest, it's pretty easy for me to get my work doing business. It's my life balance. It's overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed and I work hard. Just work hard, man. That's the secret to life. I work hard, play hard. That's the way I like to do things. I was working in a school in Uzbekistan and got on a charter flight to the US yesterday out of the country. Oh, sorry to hear that, man. Breaking your teacher contract. Would you have made the same decision? Uzbekistan. I don't know. I probably wouldn't have personally. I probably wouldn't have. I'm not very risk adverse. I like a bit of risk. I think this stuff. I think that the travel will be hopefully open in the next 3 months. I think we will have some return to normalcy in 3 months. I'd like to think that. But listen, man, realistically, you probably made a good decision. You asked what I would do. I didn't say it was a good decision, but I personally, I know I'd have more fun if I was in Uzbekistan compared to back home in Ireland. So maybe I would have stayed there. How was you, Alex? How was Uzbekistan? What's the nightlife there like? Are we in Tashkent? Because I've been to Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. I thought it was great fun. I was really surprised by how fun it was over there. And I hear Uzbekistan's fun too. Like, do you regret it yourself? Coming back? Probably the right decision. I know a lot of people return to their home countries because of the uncertainty that's going on right now. And I'm not going to blame you. I don't know if I would have done it myself, but I'm not you. I don't know what it's like to teach English in Uzbekistan. Can't relate. Sorry, man. I never thought English either. So, well, hey, it's done. So no point thinking about it. It's what's done is done. All right, cheers, lads. So day 2 of quarantine. I got 12 more days. So maybe I'll do a few more live streams. Hopefully a bit more. Guys, if you have any suggestions about what we can cover in these live streams over the next few days, let me know. I'm open to all suggestions. I got nothing to do. Business is closed. I'm twiddling my thumbs. I'm stuck in the apartment legally for the next 12 days. So I got heck all to do except play guitar, play the piano, record my audiobook, and hang out with you guys. So just Alex responded there. I was working at school in Uzbekistan and got on a charter flight to the U. Oh wait, this is the same comment. Do apologies, gents. Do apologize, gents. Sorry if I'm a bit slurry there. I had no food on the IPA, so it's affecting me. Headmaster 101 asks, "What's your position regarding spirituality?" I've always been a bit spiritual. I wouldn't say I'm religious. When I was young, in my teenage years, I read a lot of philosophy, a lot of stuff about Buddhism. I even read the Bible when I was a teenager as well. I got interested in the Quran. So I used to find religion fascinating, spirituality fascinating in general. I used to meditate, but I wouldn't really say I'm a very spiritual, to be honest. But I'm sympathetic to religion and spirituality. My mom was a very spiritual person. She did Reiki and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, but I'm not. I wouldn't consider myself particularly spiritual. Yeah, that's But I'm sympathetic. I'm very sympathetic to. I used to be I remember when I was 18, 19. I read The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins, and I became a militant atheist for a while, and that wasn't a sexy look. I remember I used to take all the pamphlets outside the chaplain's all the Christian pamphlets outside the chaplain's office and stuff, and put them in the bin and stuff. It's a dick. But then actually that guy, he talked to me, the chaplain, and he was such a nice guy that I went back into the bin, put them up because I felt so bad. And then I had a lot more of a nuanced view about it, especially getting into Jordan Peterson and all that kind of thing. I think I'm living in New York. I developed an appreciation for the roots and the influence that Christianity has had in my life and my society, Irish society. And so I actually have a newfound appreciation for all that kind of stuff. But I think there's a lot of good, because I've seen, in America, what happens with the absence of spirituality and the absence of religion. I've seen what that causes, especially if you look at history as well, Mao's China and Russia and stuff. So I do have a kind of respect for it now. I'm a lot more tolerant than I used to be, and a bit more open-minded, I would say too. But I'm not going to swallow the God pill anytime soon, guys. I'm not pulling a Roosh V anytime soon, to be honest. Which books changed your life? Great question. Oh God, there was a few of them. When I was 16, I'm trying to think of the earliest one. When I was 16, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, which, reading it back, I read it recently and it seems a bit simple now. But when I was 16, that had a huge influence for a shift in paradigm for me in terms of thinking about businesses and being an employee. So I've been starting businesses constantly since I was 16 because of that book. That was a big influence on me. Freud as well. When I was 14, Freud and Jung, I read. It was only like one of these Freud for beginners or Jung for beginners, but they were kind of the first books I read and got me interested in psychology and philosophy and got me thinking in a different way. The Game by Neil Strauss, obviously. I went down the whole pickup scene. That was a massive influence, probably the biggest influence on me, maybe. The Game by Neil Strauss. There was a couple of others in there. I should have them to mind, but I'm trying to think of other ones. Jack Donovan's The Way of Man. He was another manosphere writer. That was a really big one for me as well. Jack Donovan's Way of Man got me into the gym. It made me think about masculinity in a totally different way. I used to think that being a man was all about getting as much girls as possible. But when I found that didn't give me happiness, I looked elsewhere. And that book was kind of a revelation of what a man is. I highly recommend Jack Donovan's The Way of Man for that. Yeah, and also I like Orwell's work. I wouldn't say that had a big influence on my life, but I like that stuff in terms of just, if a book teaches you one thing or gets you to think slightly different, it's worth reading, in my opinion. There's probably other books that also had influences on me, but off the top of my head, I really can't think of them. Those ones were big for me though, and they kind of chart different periods in my life. Yeah, so. And as Alex saying, I was in Tashkent. I did well online once after learning the culture and had a small harem, or harem, whatever you use, of 3 hotties when I left. Nice. You left 3 hotties there. Now, no wonder you're second guessing yourself, man. You come back to America after leaving 3 girls behind in Uzbekistan. Oh. Now you know the answer. You didn't even have to ask me. Now you know why you know why you're feeling bad now. Nightlife is lame, to be honest, but the ratios in the clubs suck, and not the clubs. The ratios in the clubs suck, but not very big. But you didn't do so bad if you're having 3 girls on the go. Yeah, I see where you're second guessing yourself. Seki travels at sexy. Let's go with sexy travels. When traveling through Africa, did you get visas beforehand or at the border? It depends on the country. There's a few visas you definitely need to get beforehand. I remember, Nigeria was a big one. Where else? Sudan, Nigeria. Oh no, we had to get an invitation for Sudan. Where else? Ethiopia. You can wing it in most of Africa, but definitely the likes of Nigeria, you'll need it. I think Algeria, you'll definitely need a visa beforehand as well. Libya. I'm not sure about the Central African countries, but the majority of Southern Africa and the majority of countries in Africa, you don't need a visa for prior to visiting. Travel advice on Colombia when this whole Corona shit is over. Any unbeaten path cities or areas that surprise you? I said I've been to Colombia twice, but they're for short visits, and I mainly was around Cartagena, and I was in the main cities, Medellin and Bogota. So I would look for other. I hear Cali's a bit off the beaten track, and people recommend that. I think My Latin Life is a good resource to consult. For that, can I pull up his website here? And also, no, My Latin Life. Let me just, sorry guys, I'm just looking at this to make sure I have it here. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up on screen here. Yes, this is the website, My Latin Life. So this is another blogger, a Manosphere blogger. He writes about girls, nightlife, all that kind of thing. He's a ton of cities in Latin America. He covers. He is Cali there actually. Now that I see it, I think he spent a bit more time in the region, so he would know better than myself. I wouldn't consider myself expert. There's a few other guys as well. If you Google Colombia data sheets, you'll get a few. You'll get a few other recommendations. Right? Any more questions, guys? Sorry for slurring my words a bit today. Or any, like, what are you guys doing for quarantine, huh? Any of you guys gonna learn any languages? Gonna pick up any instruments? Because bad time to start streaming if you're a men's travel blogger, because no one's traveling. But we can still prepare. The good thing about Colombia, by the way, Paulius, is that the peso is, I mentioned this the last stream, the peso was at a record low against the euro and the dollar. So there's never been a better time to get more bang for your buck. But Colombia has closed off all borders, and apparently they're going to be on lockdown, or they're on lockdown at the minute. Guys, I'm gonna finish up in about, I'd say, 3 or 4 minutes. 40. I was going for 45 minutes. Unless you guys got more questions, I'm happy to hang out for a little bit longer. Yeah, so day 2 of quarantine. Not much else to say, guys. Not much going on in my life. I'm stuck in here twiddling my thumbs. Make some music. I'm learning some songs. There's not much else to do here apart from play video games and do some writing. Thank God we have the internet. Can you imagine being quarantined if you lived in the 80s? What would you be doing with yourself? You're playing with the Rubik's Cube the whole day. So, I mean, we're lucky to live in a time where we have the world at our fingertips. Yeah, so I don't see many other questions coming in here. So I'll take this brief moment to chill. Check out my new book, My Life as a Mexican Pirate, on Amazon, MexicanPirates.com. Reviews have been excellent, guys. It took me a long time to write it, and a lot of heart in there. I shared my highs and my lows, and I venture to say it's one of the wildest travel memoirs you'll ever see. You'll ever read, should I say. I'm working on the audiobook soon, so hopefully that'll be out in summer. It's been a pleasure reading all the reviews and comments and all that kind of thing. So going to take this time to study digital marketing. A-Raw, smart. Yeah, that's what I like to see. And also we got another person learning Spanish, working and reading your new book. Oh, cheers, bro. Fist bump. Yeah, it's great. Study and play, guys. Study and play. We're back students now, stuck in the house. So take this time to, have a bit of crack, have a bit of fun, and maybe pick up a new skill. Spanish, coding. You're not going to get this opportunity again where you're off work. Hopefully not too many of you guys have lost your jobs and you can go back to something. I'm lucky that I can work from a laptop. Well, obviously apart from the bars having to be closed, we can't get that going. How would you compare running a brick and mortar business compared to online? Do you miss the freedom? neither come with freedom. They all require effort and work. People think if you work from a laptop that there's freedom in that, but you still got to work like everybody else. I like the bricks and mortar thing because I get to interact with a lot more people. I'm a social guy, and I love working with people. It can be a lot more stressful dealing with bureaucracy and tax and government. I get issues with the police and the mayor up my ass and all that kind of thing. But I meet a lot more people. It's nice because I'm a respected member of the community now. I walk around, people know who I am. There's a certain esteem in that, and it's nice to be able to employ people and have a really big impact on the community. And it's a cool feeling. I think I prefer the brick and mortar gig. I think about online business, especially in my space, with all the censorship and all that kind of thing going on. I don't see the sustainability there. So I think, have both, guys. If you see opportunities, no matter where they are, don't snub it because it's offline or online. Just, do what you feel like you want to do. I think that's the biggest thing, is you got to do something that you like. The bar game is what I've been doing for years now. I'm third generation bar owner, so it comes natural to me, and I enjoy the game. So do what you like to do. But yeah, no, brick and mortar, a lot more work, but a lot more rewards. The only thing about it compared to online stuff is a lot more scalable, obviously, because you got the whole world as a market, but it's a lot more competitive. I really liked you since 5 years ago when I discovered you. Cheers, Andre. Respect. I know I don't write as much as I used to. Back when I started my blog 10 years ago, I used to do like 3 blog posts a week. Now you'd be lucky if you get 1 out of me a month. I just don't have the same passion for it as I used to, especially just writing. I like this live stream stuff. Maybe I'll focus more on that on video. I really enjoy it. But blogging itself, I don't have the same zest I used to. But I respect that comment. Thank you. Appreciate it. Andre says, but I didn't speak English 5 years ago, so now it's time to have a better interaction with you and the community. Happy to be here. Thank you, Andre. I hope my Irish accent isn't too difficult for you. I know the Irish accent can be quite difficult, and sometimes I speak fast. But my accent is easy compared to other Irish accents out there. And also, thanks for all the information you shared throughout the years. Again, boom. Thanks, man. I hope they guide you on your travels. And all you guys out there, if you guys don't know who, obviously, I'm sure you do know, naughtynomad.com. I've written over 100 city guides. If any of you guys have any personal questions while I'm not on live stream, you can shoot a message to me on Twitter @naughtynomad or Instagram @naughtynomad. Facebook group, if you don't know about, we have a Facebook group, Naughty Nomad Facebook group. I think we're up to nearly 1,000 members, and if you look for wingman or advice, there's loads of guys out there on there who are willing to help. Never mind you, I have a 95% rejection rate on it, and I have a moderator on there, so do answer the questions when you're making the application, because if you don't answer the applications, you're going to be auto rejected. And also hit me up if you want to email me, thenaughtynomad@gmail.com. What do you think are the most useful skills to learn for the next 10 to 15 years? Oh, that's a seriously big question. I'd avoid anything that you think can be automated. I see SEO, for example, SEO being more AI driven, and maybe even coding to an extent. Oh, that's a good question, and I can't honestly say I can give you a good answer. I think everybody should know how to do a bit of Photoshop, build a web page, get indexed on Google, know a little bit about social media. I mean, these are just general skills to have in the digital space. It depends what you want to do, but man, I'm just a normal guy like you. I don't have the crystal ball. Maybe get into the face mask business. Learn how to make a face mask. I don't know. That's the truth. I'm just trying to figure out life like the rest of you guys, living it as best as I can. As I alluded to earlier, rather than think of what is the most useful skills, think of what you would like to do, what you would enjoy doing that could make you a bit of cash if your question is cash related. Because what I've learned throughout the years is if you are doing something just because it makes money, you're pushing a rock up a hill. Whereas if you're doing something that you enjoy that makes you less money, it's effortless. It's like play. And I think if you're going to spend your whole life working, it should feel like play, not arduous. So, think of something you enjoy and let that be the guide for you, not something that's necessarily useful. Listen, it's good to have a career and a plan and something to focus on. I don't knock that either, but I think long term, we only got one life, so try and enjoy it. Yeah. Thanks for the detailed response. No problem, man. I can't remember what was it. Oh, the brick and mortar thing. No problem, guys. Hi, lads. So I think we're coming to the end of our stream here. It's amazing how easy. Well, listen, we might as well make it the full hour. I got 8 minutes. I just feel like I have to hit the 60-minute mark now because it's so close. What's interesting about these live streams, I have yet to plan one out or write notes, but it's amazing how effortless it has been. It's great to have you guys on asking me questions because that makes it so much easier because I can kind of just riff. And hopefully I'm going to do more of these things. Yeah, I'm not sure what topics I'm going to cover. For sure travel, and I think self-improvement in general. But it'd be nice to have a topic. I've said this the last stream, but it's nice to have a topic we can kind of focus on for one stream, and I can do a bit of research for you guys, and hopefully we can make a show that you guys will learn from. But it's I just like it just from being able to hang on with you guys and answer questions. It's kind of fun. It's like a hangout. I don't really think of it like a YouTube video. It's just kind of a random. It's like being on Facebook and answering comments in an Q&A in Twitter. On Twitter, yeah. God, the more I drink, I only had a little bit, but my concentration is getting worse and worse. It's so bad. Yeah, so I'll tell you what I'm doing for the next 10 days in quarantine. I am going to play some video games, maybe some Fallout 3. I've never finished Fallout 3. I'll play Fallout 4. I'm going to relearn the piano. I haven't played in 6-7 years. So I'm learning a couple of songs. And I'm working on building I've worked on a delivery app for my bars, so basically I can deliver craft beer around the island, because you got to get innovative, guys. Now is the time that there's opportunities presenting themselves, whether it's investment in stocks, and if you were around, crypto just crashed as well. I think you can get in there cheap. I still think it's undervalued, but we don't know where the world's going to be. But there's also a lot of innovation taking place. We are in a new landscape now, and now's the time to be thinking and be innovative. So work and play, but get your thinking caps on. There's opportunities. There's always opportunities in crashes. I'm sure this will have a huge effect on the real estate market and the jobs market. The world is changing rapidly, so adapt, but also enjoy the decline a little bit. How old am I now? I am 33 years old. I hope you didn't ask me that, because us Irish, we have difficulty with our THs. We always say 3 instead of 3. So I'm 33. I'm 33. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting a few grays in the beard. You can't notice it, but yeah, and I got my hair transplanted. God damn, I'm getting old. Thinking about having kids. I know 33 isn't that old, but I feel the years. I've had a lot of experiences in my life, crazy experiences. I've done a lot. So I feel older than I am. But still looking good. I'm still looking good. I still got it. I'm still going to do plenty of adventures. I'm not dead yet. The only thing is the whole world's locked down. I had one. I've had countless flights. I think I had 3 or 4 trips booked this year. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, at least four trips that were locked and loaded, but the airport just closed down yesterday. So Malta now is closed off to the rest of the world. Last night, borders closed. Stuck on an island with 400,000 people, and I'm stuck inside for 14 days. And there's not a restaurant, a bar, anything open. The streets are, it's like a ghost town. And that's what life is like for me right now. Where are we going to be in 2-3 months? How long is it going to go on for? That's the question. And we're 3.5 minutes. We're going to make the hour. The good thing about these live streams is these live streams is it really tests you on what you can think of on the spot, because it certainly is challenging, because you're kind of talking to yourself, which is an unusual experience. Well, I'm talking to you guys, but you're just waffling. All right, another question. When do you think things will go back to normal? I was watching, there's a good YouTube channel called there's 2 videos if you're interested in delving more into this topic about the whole situation right now. There's a good interview done on Joe Rogan with a virologist about the virus. Check that out. I can't remember the gentleman's name. And there was also a good video done by Valuetainment. The show is called Valuetainment on YouTube, with these 2 experts. I think one was a professor who studies pandemics. The other was he worked for the U.S. State Department or something. And they reckon that a vaccine won't be ready until another 12 months, even if they rush it. There's 3 stages of clinical trials. So when things will get back to normal, I don't know that. Does anyone know that? You should watch our Taoiseach, which is our Prime Minister, did a great speech for St. Patrick's Day. And he was pretty candid about it. He reckons this is the calm before the storm, gentlemen. We're only starting to see the effects of this. In Malta, I know I can leave the house in 12 days when my businesses will be open. I'm being pessimistic. I'm going to say 6 to 8 weeks, if we're lucky. This could be 3 months. But I don't know how long the world can shut up shop for before people start rioting, looting. I know I took all the money out of my businesses today, all the safes, because I see stuff getting violent. But maybe I'm just being overly pessimistic. I'm not taking any chances, though. We can only just hope, guys. We can only hope. I would like to go to Oslo. Do you think it's a good place to have some fun? Yes, yes, yes. Oslo is good. All of Scandinavia. Stockholm and Oslo. I had a blast there. I mean, if you read my new book, I briefly mentioned the shenanigans we got into in Oslo. I was only there 3 nights, 2 nights, maybe 2 nights. And the first night, some Viking basically took me home she basically slung me over her shoulder and brought me back. And then the second night, 2 girls brought me back for a 3-way, actually. But I was so drunk I slept on their couch. They love the Irish over there, mind you, but they're Vikings. They just love to drink, get drunk, and party. They're very friendly. Maybe I had a colored experience. I was dressed as a Mexican pirate, so I tend not to have an atypical or typical experience. But I found Oslovians very, very friendly. That was my experience. So I love Scandinavia. It's so expensive, mind you, like crazy expensive. So budget for it, but I actually highly recommend Oslo, and I think Stockholm is even better again. It's a bit cheaper and the nightlife is better. Yeah, much worse than the flu. Yeah, I mean that's. And I don't think anyone buys that it's the same as the flu now. If you look at the death rates with older people, it's way higher. I mean, I'm right beside Italy, and they've probably 4,000 dead now. I haven't looked at the figures. Do I even want to? Italy. I'm typing this into Google. Italy dead people. That's not. This is bad one-hand Googling, but I'm sure it'll give me. Oh yeah, it does give me. It actually works. I typed in Italy dead people. and it actually worked. And as you can see there, it's you can't see there, but it's like 4,825 dead. That's right beside me in Italy. I'm on an island off Sicily. So, not so good. I don't know how many people are dead here. Not so much though. I mean, we're on an island. There was 10 new cases yesterday. We're an island of 400,000 people. If the place is a complete lockdown, I think we got to handle it. I know Malta is copying the Asian countries more so than the European countries, so we'll be all right. Right, guys, we hit the hour. Boom! First hour live stream. Thanks for everybody who came on. I really appreciate all the questions. If you have any more, you need to get it in the next 10, 20 seconds. That was easier than I expected to do an hour. We'll probably come back on. I'll come back on in the coming days because I'll be bored out of my tree here in quarantine. But thanks everybody, Edmaster, Andre, A-Raw, Polius, Sexy, Edmaster, if I've not said already, but Seaman, James, all you guys, thank you very much. We had Minsk, oh God, I can't remember the other place, France. We got a few other countries on here. A very international crowd. Guys, I said naughtynomad.com. Check out my new book on MexicanPirates.com. Check out their reviews, it's been awesome. Yeah, man, hit to Oslo, have fun there. But that's all from me, guys. Naughty Nomad on Twitter, Naughty Nomad on Instagram, Facebook, Naughty Nomad page, Naughty Nomad group, the website naughtynomad.com, blah blah blah, social media, you know the jazz. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. How are you guys not subscribed yet? Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If you haven't seen them either, I've got loads of videos on YouTube. Yeah, stuff from Somalia and little trips and interviews from New York. Check out the backlog. I did great podcasts as well back in the day when I was in New York. I have a really good library of videos for you guys to check out on YouTube if you haven't already. Romania versus Caucasus, really quick. Romania for nightlife, Caucasus for a general experience. I love the Caucasus. I love it. I love that whole region. But the nightlife there is pretty tame. The girls are pretty conservative. You want to have just good, clean, or just party and have fun, Romania. But if you want a whole overall holistic travel experience, I recommend the Caucasus. And you can also have fun there as well. But it's pretty conservative, just so you know. Cheers, subscribe for a long time now. Thanks guys, appreciate it. Anyway, I'm out. Good night. Respect and hope. Keep safe out there, guys. Don't die. Bye.